Morning, my peoples. Whoa, go get the money. What's the deal? Bam! My peoples, y'all know what this is. Another edition of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science. Early in the morning, my peoples. It's 6:30. We're gonna talk boxing. And very, very interesting talking points for you today, my peoples. We have to circle back to previous conversations that we've had. Because I specifically remember telling people, yo, Dimitri Bivol ducked David Benavidez. That was a duck. And y'all was like, nah, because Bivol is fighting a legacy trilogy and it's a third fight. And that's why he got a good excuse to vacate the title. But in reality, he's not ducking. Oh, he's not ducking. He's not ducking. We're gonna have to figure this out. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. That's all I'm saying, my people. So how exactly is David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol's mandatory? Bivol vacates the strap, which Benavidez is gonna fight for, or fought for. My mind ain't even clear right now. But how is it even possible that people was telling me, nah, Bivol's not ducking because he's gonna do a trilogy? Wait a minute, Beterbiev is gonna fight somebody else. What are we talking about now? John Parham, the general in the building, salute, bam. What are we talking about, my peoples? Talk to me about Artur Beterbiev fighting someone else, not named Dimitri Bivol. So are we willing to accept that Bivol ducked Benavidez? Is it time for that already? Is it time to acknowledge that I try to say this from the beginning? I try to tell y'all. I said, my peoples, Dimitri Bivol ducked David Benavidez. That's his mandatory. They could have made that fight happen, and it would have been for undisputed. Instead, he dropped the title, and there's no rematch right now. I mean, there's no trilogy next. Now they're painting it like Beterbiev has to earn, which is crazy. Think about that. Bivol got his rematch. Boom. Now Beterbiev got earned the trilogy after he won the first fight. That's crazy. That's crazy work. Y'all gonna tell me that's not crazy work? Beterbiev probably mad as hell. Like, how I gotta redeem myself and all that when we fought 2 fights and we split. So to me, it looks like they doing Beterbiev wrong. Yep. Y'all doing Buddy wrong. Unless he don't want the rematch. He don't want the rematch. Want to fight somebody else. But it looks like they doing him wrong because those 2 fights were super competitive. They were both, very close. So why would he have to redeem himself or earn that 3rd fight when they split? And both fights was just as competitive. At least to me, it doesn't make sense. But there's 2 problems that I see right there. Number 1, Beterbiev is not getting his get back right away, which he should have. And number 2, the whole excuse for Bivol vacating that title was that he was gonna, oh no, Bivol is gonna fight a trilogy. That's why he don't gotta fight the Mexican monster. Oh, what happened? What had happened was I'm looking forward to people coming to boxing for breakfast and talking to me about that. Those who say, yo, nah. Dimitri Bivol, he's not ducking Benavidez. He's fighting for legacy. And he's going to fight a trilogy fight next, so that's why. And now look, Beterbiev is going to fight somebody else. So who's Bivol fighting next? Because it ain't going to be Benavidez. Let's accept that he ducked. Look, I just want people to admit it. Admit that he ducked the Mexican monster. No, it happens. Sometimes a fighter duck. We have to keep the same energy with everybody. Across the board. You got a title? That's your mandatory? You said, no, hey, you could keep that title. I'm out of here. That's a duck. That's what ducking is. And the moment they announced, because I remember His Excellency Turkey Alashi was already talking about it, that he wants a trilogy, he's not interested in the Benavidez fight. Cool. You're not interested? Cool, no problem. But the whole narrative was that Bivol was not going to defend that belt because he was going to do this trilogy fight. And now you're telling me, no. Beterbiev has to earn his right for the... Y'all going to tell me that it's not messed up that Beterbiev gave an immediate rematch, he lost, and now he got to earn the trilogy? Does that really make sense? Because that's how I see Ring Magazine posting it. Look, let me show you. Ring Magazine is saying that he's going to earn the right or earn the fight. Look at this, my people. This is crazy. I think this is nasty work. This is my personal opinion. I'm going to read it. Look, I'm reading it to y'all right off of Ring Magazine. Former undisputed light heavyweight champion Artur Beterbiev will begin his road to redemption on November 22nd as part of the Ring 4 Night of Champions in Riyadh season. Beterbiev will collide with another dangerous puncher in Dion Nicholson, who has 18 knockouts in his 22 wins. My peoples, how exactly Beterbiev loses a highly competitive rematch and now all of a sudden he has to redeem himself? Explain that to me. Make it make sense, please, somebody. John Parham, something Ring Magazine reports some crazy shit. Yo, I'm still trying to figure out. Maybe you guys can make it make sense for me. Y'all can make it make sense. John, you tell me, John, how exactly is it that Artur Beterbiev, somebody who was an undefeated fighter and undisputed champion, loses a highly competitive rematch and now he has to redeem himself when he won the first fight? I don't understand it. Why would Artur Beterbiev have to redeem himself? And you know, I feel like they doing him dirty. That's why. Because he should have got an immediate trilogy, right? And people was arguing about that. When I said Dimitri Bivol ducked, people was arguing, no. It's because he's doing a trilogy. So you don't give him a trilogy and you put him up against a young, strong opponent. 18 knockouts in 22 fights. A guy with power. And you know, obviously, if he loses this fight or even gets knocked out, Beterbiev 40 years old. If he loses this fight, no trilogy. You're done. But when he beat Dimitri Bivol, Bivol didn't have to go prove himself, redeem himself. Matter of fact, yo, I don't even know. Like, look, I don't know how to explain it. I can't, figure it out. How does Artur Beterbiev, a pound-for-pound fighter, gotta redeem himself? Y'all tell me, how is that even possible? But I'm just saying, when it was announced that Dimitri Bivol was vacating the strap, I specifically said, my peoples, Bivol DUCKED Benavidez. We have to keep that same energy. Every fighter, if you got a mandatory, and especially if it's a big name, and you let that strap go and walk away from that big fight, you duck. You duck, my peoples. Let's be honest. And I said it right away. He does not want that smoke with David Benavidez, who, by the way, supposedly dropped him in sparring with a jab. Bang! Dropped him. I don't know how true that is, but it's somebody, the guy that told the story, is somebody who was there. I don't know if y'all remember. He told it mistakenly, said that Bivol dropped Benavidez with a jab. And we ran with that like, whoa. And then he took it back. He was like, no, I made a mistake. It was Benavidez that dropped him with a jab. So, right now, when you see that Artur Beterbiev is going to fight somebody else, how could you not say that Dimitri Bivol ducked? How? How is it even possible? He ducked. That's it. I want to see who he's going to... I'm interested in seeing who he's going to fight next. He has 3 of the titles, so he's going to have mandatories left and right. Who is he going to fight next? And is he going to fight Benavidez maybe afterwards? I don't know. But the fact that he vacated that title and is not fighting Beterbiev next, that's it. The excuses that people was giving me was debunked right there. That's why I would love to see the folks who told me, nah, yo, he's not ducking because it's all about the trilogy. The trilogy is more important in a bigger legacy fight. Well, that trilogy is not happening now. You still think he didn't duck? It's not happening. That's it. They not fighting. It's over. It's over. My peoples, I hope y'all had your breakfast. I already had mine. You know, this is boxing for breakfast. So whether you're having breakfast or your way to work, just chilling at home watching TV, enjoy the show, man. This is it right here. This is it right here. Boxing for breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. 6:45, my peoples. So there you go, man. Yesterday I went live to talk a little bit about it. And I see that those who said that Bivol did not duck, they quiet. They've been real quiet. I had a couple people. I'm like, yo, my boy, what's good? What's going on? You told me that Bivol was not ducking because he had a trilogy going on. Trust me. Yesterday I didn't wait. Didn't spend no time before I was like, yo, bro, you told me he wasn't ducking. What's really good with you? You told me he needed a trilogy because that's a bigger legacy fight. What had happened was, now we got to figure out a different excuse of why he didn't duck. So I'm guessing the people who told me that, they're going to take like a couple of days to digest it, figure out what angle they're going to take. And then in 3 days, they're going to have some type of excuse why he didn't duck still. But the facts are out there. The Mexican Monster was the mandatory for Dimitri Bivol. Dimitri Bivol, who was the undisputed champion, vacated one of his belts, avoided that fight with David Benavidez. People gave him the excuse that no, because he's doing a trilogy with Artur Beterbiev, so really he's not ducking. Well, he's not doing that trilogy. It's not happening. Beterbiev fighting somebody else. Which, by the way, like I said, they doing Beterbiev dirty. Dirty. Tell me I'm lying. This guy won a fight, gave an immediate rematch, and then for the rematch, he loses a close competitive fight, and it's told that he got to redeem himself to get the trilogy. I don't understand. Y'all help me do the math. And by the way, y'all need to stop ducking that like button the same way Tank Davis ducking Shakur. I know that Tank should not be ducking that fight, but it's the same way that y'all should not be ducking that like button. Boom, just like that. Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, my peoples. It looks like that fight is gonna happen. Boots, I think he is gonna get those tune-ups. But Oscar De La Hoya was asked about it. A reporter told them, "Hey, look, Eddie Hearn is saying that Boots versus Virgil is going to happen by or before February of last year. By or before February of last year. That's a fight. That's a fight, my people. And I was talking about it yesterday. To me, it makes sense to hold on just a little bit. Because by that time, I believe that if Boots is going to get 2 fights in, within 2 fights, Virgil could probably get a title shot. And then it's going to be exactly what I try to tell everyone. These 2 young guns that are, potential superstars are going to collide, and it's going to be for a title. It's going to be something on the line. Why have Jerome Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz fight a 10-rounder or an eliminator? These are future superstars. So have them fight with something on the line. Honestly, I want to see them fight badly, but I didn't want to see them fight next. I didn't want to see them. So I was like, yo, that fight is not gonna be as big as it's gonna be for title or for multiple titles. They're gonna fight, and it's gonna be a very competitive fight. I don't see nobody getting smoked for whatever reason, man. People who are fans of Virgil, oh, you're gonna smoke him. It's gonna be easy. Yeah. A world champion, a guy who's undefeated, a guy who's highly skilled is just gonna be made to look easy. And then you look to the other side, people who rock it with Boots are like, nah, you're gonna smoke Virgil. It's gonna be easy work. Come on, man. Come on, my people. Boots versus Virgil is going to be a highly competitive fight. They're going to go back and forth. They're both going to win rounds. Look, I haven't made a prediction on that fight yet. I will make it. And I'm going to say, man, if right now I had to, it's hard, man. I'm going to tell y'all, look, John Parham, I got Ortiz, but it won't be easy. Look, it's hard for me to make that prediction right now. Honestly, I was like, that's 50-50, but I'm leaning towards Boots, right? But after Boots declined that offer, I kind of like, wait a minute, Boots don't want that smoke right now with Virgil. So I'm not ready to lean towards Virgil, but I'm right down the middle right now, man. Honestly, I was shocked, flabbergasted, bewildered when I heard Jerome Boots Ennis decline the offer. I was like, what? Boots? Because y'all know that even the fans been talking about that fight since they was both at welterweight. They got to fight. People going back and forth. People making predictions about who will win if they face each other. Well, there you have it. Jerome Boots Ennis had the opportunity to fight Virgil next. They were like, nah, hold on. Let me get my tune-ups. 2. Supposedly it's 2 tune-ups. So, in a way, I'm critical of it. Because, like, damn, yo, you Boots, you're a great fighter. You're a special talent. And you're talking about 2 tune-ups? Damn. But also, you got to respect it. Boxing is a business. Boxing is a sport, but it's a business. So, you have to look at it from both sides. As fans, we want the fights. But it's a business. And it's like I told you, it's better to have that fight when somebody's a world champion than an eliminator between 2 potential superstars. Sammy Tabasun, hey, first time also boxing fan. Salute family, bam. Go get the money. 2 tune-ups is wild. Bro, somebody of that caliber. Think about this for a second. Terrence Buck Crawford is going to be jumping up 2 divisions and going straight for Canelo Alvarez. You know how many people have said, yo, he should have fought a tune-up. Either he should have fought at least 1 tune-up at 160 or 1 tune-up at 168. He going up straight for the bacon, for the face of boxing, right after jumping up 2 divisions. I'm going to tell you something interesting. When Roberto Duran, because a lot of people know this, Roberto Duran jumped up 2 divisions, right? And he fought and beat Sugar Ray Leonard. But what a lot of people don't know is that Roberto Duran moved up from 135 to 147, and he fought. Before fighting Sugar Ray Leonard, he fought. I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head because I was too little. I don't even know. I was probably born, but I was too little. I wasn't watching boxing then. But I've gone back and checked it out. And Roberto Duran didn't go straight 2 divisions into Sugar Ray Leonard. Terence Crawford is jumping 2 divisions straight to Canelo Alvarez. So Boots is moving up 1 division, and he's saying, nah, yo, I need tune-ups. And you have to think about this. Boots is a big dude, bro. He be sparring with middleweights, man. And bigger. Boots a big dude. So it's like, damn, you a big guy. Matter of fact, he moving up because he cannot make welterweight anymore. He's struggling to make that weight. That's why. You're a big guy. So a big guy and a special fighter. Special. So asking for tune-ups right now, at least right now, you can't say I'm lying. He's not reaching for greatness. You see Terence Crawford reaching for greatness. Boots is not doing that right now. He's taking the soft route. I seen an article, man. I can't remember that they sent like 4 different fighters an offer to fight Boots. And it was some okay fighter tune-ups. It's tune-ups. John Parham, how about we tune up the likes, man? Y'all brutal this morning. Sami Tabasum, what's up with Beterbiev? Man, listen, Artur Beterbiev, they making him fight somebody else. I feel like they doing him dirty, honestly, because again, he split wins. Him and Bivol, they went, each one got a fight. And when he won the first fight, Bivol didn't have to earn the rematch. He just got it. Boom, right there. Right after. So now he loses and he got to earn it. That's crazy work. And then he got to earn it versus a knockout artist. That at 41 years old, you could get beat. Beterbiev is getting old. What would have been the fair thing to do was give Artur Beterbiev the immediate trilogy. That was the excuse why Bivol didn't fight Benavidez. That was it right there. Oh no, he's not fighting Benavidez. He's gonna drop this title because he's doing a trilogy. That was it. There ain't no trilogy. Where's the people who told me that Bivol wasn't ducking? Because right now he could have been fighting the Mexican Monster for undisputed. Right now. It could have been Dimitri Bivol, the Mexican Monster for undisputed. Instead, Artur Beterbiev is going to fight somebody else. And Dimitri Bivol, we don't know who he's going to fight. We don't know what he's doing. Jay Will, salute my brother. Bam. Jay Will, was you one of the people that told me that Bivol wasn't ducking Benavidez? Holla at me, Jay Will. Holla at me. I need to know. The people who told me, oh, nah, Bivol ain't ducking because he's doing a trilogy, and that's going to be more legacy than the Mexican Monster. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on. Sammy, has Anthony Yard got a knockout chance? It could happen. The odds are against him. Honestly, the odds are against him. But it can happen. You know, in boxing, anything can happen. He's a power puncher. Benavidez been dropped. You know, so he could land the right shot and end it, but the odds are against him. Jay Will, I did try to give Bivol the benefit of the doubt. You see, I told you, bro. I told you, bro. Look. That's why I'm Jay Stradamus, B. I knew that it was a duck. I knew it. Because this is the only thing, not the only, but one of the most important things to consider. You're undisputed champion. You got the opportunity to defend your undisputed crown versus one of the biggest names in boxing. That's a huge fight. And you vacate the title to supposedly fight a trilogy, and that trilogy's not even happening. That's it. That's it right there. Jay Will, I thought he was just trying to do what Turkey wanted. I'm saying, though, look, supposedly he was trying to do what Turkey wanted. But even Turkey himself said, oh, nah, we want a trilogy. Turkey said that. You're right. It's a reason to believe that. But look, they was full of shit. John Parham, Jay Smith, don't forget shit. Bro, trust me, I'll be remembering. Jay Will was going at me, nah, bro. The fight with Beterbiev is a bigger fight. And Beterbiev and Bivol, you know, that's a trilogy, 36 rounds of action. And I'm like, nah, bro, forget all that. This is a duck move right here. It's a duck move. And look, this is what I would say, my people, is the main box center duck rule. This is the main, look, I might even get the receipt so y'all understand what I'm talking about, bro. Because this is truly the main box center duck rule, which I'm going to be posting it. I don't want no misunderstanding. Okay? No confusions. The main box center duck rule is the following. If you have a mandatory, and that mandatory is a name fighter, a fighter with a name, and you vacate the title to go fight somebody else, it's a duck. You cannot find an excuse. You cannot say, no, because he ducked for this reason, and he didn't fight for that reason. It doesn't matter. If the fighter does not defend versus a named fighter and finds a way out, it's a duck. Therefore, David Benavidez is the boogeyman and was ducked by Dimitri Bivol. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I'm Jay Stradamus. I was trying to tell y'all, y'all didn't want to believe it. Jay Will, I'd much rather see Benavidez Bivol for sure. I don't even know the last time we got 3 fights in a row with no fights in between for a trilogy. Sammy, thoughts on lightweight division? Jay Will, usually they have a different fight in between. I mean, we'll get to the lightweight division. Jay Will, look, whether or not, you know, fighters decide to have fights in between or not, the facts remain that they made it seem like it was going to be a trilogy right away. They made it seem like Bivol could not fight Benavidez because it was next. They was going to fight. So where does that even leave Dimitri Bivol? Because there's no trilogy, right? Or does Beterbiev have to redeem himself while Dimitri Bivol sit it out and wait for him? I don't think he wants to stay inactive. I don't think so. That's my personal take. But I said it before, and I'll say it again. They did Artur Beterbiev dirty, my peoples. That man won the first fight, and now they telling him he got to earn the trilogy? That's crazy work. Bivol didn't have to earn it. Why he got to earn it? So I don't know, man. It don't make a lot of sense to me. Talk to me, my peoples. So, let me see. Sammy says, thoughts of the lightweight division. The lightweight division is on fire, bro. The lightweight division has constantly, throughout boxing and throughout the history of boxing, there's always been some great fighters on there. You know, right now we have Shakur Stevenson, we have Tank Davis. Ray Murataya is the IBF champion. I know that Shakur been wanting to fight him. Been wanted that action with Ray Murataya. But I don't think Murataya is ready for that smoke. You know, that's my personal take. My personal take. Take a little 24-hour timeout, family, and go watch some UFC or go watch boxing shit right here if you want to do that. Superman. Good morning, Jay Smith. Superman. Salute, my brother. Jay Will. Benavidez not wanting to fight outside of America, I thought was another issue. But David said he would now. I do not believe that was ever an issue. And I'll tell you why. From the beginning, His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh said he was not interested in that fight. Look, I still remember they announced that Benavidez was the mandatory, and the same day, within hours, I saw a tweet from His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh. Oh, I'm not interested in that fight at all. Sammy, you root for Javante, brother? Root? Well, I'm a fan of Tank, but I'm not just a fan of Tank. I'm not part of the Tankomaniacs. So I do criticize him for not fighting the best out there, but he definitely is a great fighter. Jay Will, Bivol arguably waited out Beterbiev until he got older. We could say that. But at the end of the day, they fought twice, and each one got a win. So we need that third fight. I didn't think we needed it right away anyways. I wanted Bivol to go fight Benavidez. But now, it looks like Bivol ducked, and they doing Beterbiev dirty. There's two situations in one. Jay Will, I like Tank in the ring, but his competition is frustrating. That's the thing. There you have it. It's frustrating to see Tank fighting guys that you're like, okay, this is a good fighter, but I know Tank is going to beat him. Frontline, Smith, chat, fam. Bam, salute, my brother. You know, Tank is a great fighter. There's no getting around it. Frontline, let me ask you a question, Frontline. Was you also one of my peoples that was saying that Dimitri Bivol did not duck Benavidez because he was fighting a trilogy and the trilogy was a bigger fight? Refresh my recollection. Jay Smith, do you like Benavidez versus Zurdo? Yes. I got Benavidez beating Zurdo. And Opataya, he beating Zurdo too. Badly. Beat down. I'm going to tell you why. At least, okay, I got you, Frontline. At least in his last outing, Zurdo looked horribly slow. Man, listen, he looked real slow. Looked good, as far as mechanics, power, but he looked slow. I feel like he gets smoked. Like it's not even going to be, a good fight. The way that I saw him in that last outing, I think these guys smoke him. I think Benavidez, Opataya, absolutely smoke him. To me, he didn't look good in that last fight. And I don't know if it's because I'm letting y'all know that Tank Davis is ducking Shakur, that some of y'all ducking that like button. Stop playing. GB, Benavidez has to fight Bivol or Beterbiev. Well, it's hard for him to fight people that won't fight him. They got to want to fight him. And the thing is that, see, I look at a lot of different aspects. That's why I'm the human algorithm, right? I want you guys to consider this. Right now, Benavidez is going to become a world champion. And at the same time, Dimitri Bivol is a world champion in 3 other sanctioning bodies. Since they're both world champions, Benavidez could never become a mandatory for Beterbiev. The only way that he could ever fight is if Beterbiev agrees. That's it. There's no other way around it. So it's not like before where Benavidez was the mandatory and you gotta fight me. Well, he vacated. Now Benavidez will never be the mandatory again. That's it. So that's why I say, if he didn't fight David Benavidez as the mandatory to keep the undisputed status, why is he going to fight him now when he don't have to fight him? That's it. He never has to fight Benavidez if he don't want to, as long as he's a champion. Frontline. Rumors is they trying to set Najee Lopez versus Beterbiev. But you mean afterwards now, because they already announced Beterbiev with another opponent. Raw dog, Bivol versus Beterbiev don't want Benavidez smoke. They don't want it, bro. They do not want to fight David Benavidez. A lot of people don't want to fight David Benavidez. That's the reality. That's why he's the Mexican monster. It's a few boogeymen in boxing. Benavidez is one of them. Sammy, Dion Nicholson versus Artur Beterbiev, apparently. Exactly, that's next. On November 15th. So, if that fight, I want you guys to consider this. We're in August. If that fight is happening way in November 15th, at the end of the year, when or who is Dimitri Bivol going to fight? You tell me, my people. When are they going to fight? And when is this trilogy going to fight? GB, ain't they doing a trilogy? I thought Bivol belt stripped. No, so Dimitri Bivol got stripped of one title because he wasn't going to defend versus Benavidez. He got 3 titles. Supposedly, he didn't duck Benavidez because he was going to fight the trilogy. Well, the trilogy is not happening next. There you have it. Benavidez is going to fight Nicholson. And now you can say Bivol officially ducked. Those people who try to tell me, no, because he's fighting a legacy fight. And the trilogy is a lot more important than fighting the Mexican monster. And I'm like, what do you mean, bro? Fighting the Mexican monster would mean that he's going to keep his undisputed status. Come on. Come on. That's what it is. Now, Bertha Gomes, because you was in here talking crazy. You got to stop the talking crazy. Stop the talking crazy now. So, again, my peoples. And I pointed it out earlier, for those of you who just joined, by the way, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Go ahead and hit that like button. But I told you guys earlier, they doing Artur Beterbiev dirty. So it's 2 situations in one right now going on with this announcement. Number 1, they making Artur Beterbiev have to go prove himself. At 40 years old, you got to go redeem yourself? That's cold-blooded. Y'all going to tell me they're not doing him dirty when he won the first fight? So here are the 2 situations. Number 1, they making Beterbiev go prove himself when he lost a highly competitive rematch. That's number 1. And number 2, they said Dimitri Bivol wasn't fighting David Benavidez because he had a trilogy. Well, he doesn't have a trilogy. It's officially a duck. There we have it. Bertha Gomes, that's why you have 12 likes, Jay Smith. Okay, Bertha Gomes, you got it. Take that 24-hour timeout and check me out. The veggie salad. I don't like to block the veggie salad, so he could tune in. Frontline. See, Bertha, there you go with the BS. Bertha might be the veggie salad, and the veggie salad now got 24 hours to just watch. And shut the hell up. Now, moving on, my peoples, from the whole situation, I already told y'all Dimitri Bivol duck, and they doing Artur Beterbiev the dirt McGirt. That's the reality. Frontline. Bertha hitting John Parham, bam, doing John Parham things. Sammy, what's the strength of Dion Nicholson? I mean, he got 18 knockouts in 22 fights. So it's safe to say he's a power puncher. It's safe to say he's a power puncher. But here's what I have to point out. And why I say they doing him dirty. Bro, he's 40 years old and you're going to make him fight a power puncher before getting his get back? If he loses or if he get even knocked out, that's it. He don't got a trilogy. He's done. That can happen. So I feel like, damn, you excuse Bivol from the Benavidez fight with the excuse that he was going to do a trilogy. And he's not even going to do a trilogy. Joan Sosa, Benavidez versus Yard. That's a good fight. And I said, look, Yard has a puncher's chance. We've seen Benavidez get dropped before. And if you drop somebody with the right shot, he's not going to be the same when he get back up. Benavidez hasn't been dropped like that. He's been dropped, got caught a little bit off balance, boom, hit the canvas, but he wasn't hurt like that. Yard got the power to hurt him and stop him. But I would say the skill gap is too much. I don't see that finishing, devastating blow. I don't see it landing. I see Benavidez using his style, reach, boom, combinations. You know how he does it. He let them hands fly. I see him doing what he does. Now, he can get caught. That's why I'm saying Yard has a chance. You know, Benavidez likes to trade leather inside of a phone booth. He can get caught with a big shot, whether it's a counter shot or just trading punches. Boom! Eat a monster shot. That could happen. Superman, similar to Dubois, fake sickness and getting the title shot. It's some funny business all around the camp. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then, damn, that didn't look good. The way Dubois went out, that was bad. That was bad. John Pound, positive vibes and boxing. Or you catching an Uber or Greyhound. Getting sent. Frontline. Why is the boxing community saying Mini Pac-Man is done? Those lower weight classes, he can come back and become a champ again. What are you people talking about? So I'm going to tell you like this, man. Mini Pac-Man, he's a great fighter. And I expect him to become a world champion again. If you watch that fight, it was highly competitive. Highly, highly competitive. And he fought a great fighter. He lost to a great fighter. I expect him to become a world champion again. Nebraska Raw, greetings from the mean streets of North Omaha, Nebraska. Salute, family. Bam! What you think about David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol? Was it a duck? Did Dimitri Bivol duck Benavidez? Are we ready to admit it, to acknowledge it? There is no trilogy. That's not an excuse anymore. Out the window. You see, sometimes boxing fans have an excuse, and it's hard to dispute that excuse. But sometimes you might come up with an excuse that just get absolutely debunked. Oh my God, I love it when that happens. Yo, I love it when that happens. When you have an excuse and that shit get debunked, it's like, oh man, you're cooked. You are cooked. By the way, I gotta say this to y'all. Juan Ocasio, good morning, Box Center fam. Juan Ocasio, salute, my brother. Bam. I gotta say this. Talking about excuses that get debunked, this is one of my favorite ones that I feel like it was debunked. So, Derek James, Coach Derek James, was asked if he felt like the accident had anything to do with the outcome of the fight between Errol and Crawford. And his exact words, no, the accident had nothing to do. So you imagine that. Years of fans blaming the accident on that ass whooping. Because they didn't want to give credit to Terrence Crawford. Years. Remember, it's been 2 years since that fight. Well, it's October. It's July. In 2 months, it's going to be 2 years. So I'm saying years in 2 months. They still going to be saying it in 2 months. Years. Blaming that loss to the accident. And his own coach says, nah, the accident ain't had nothing to do with that. The dude that's working with him every day, that prepared them for these fights, is saying, nah, the accident ain't had nothing to do with that. Joan Sosa. Yes, he ducked Benavidez. I think everyone is ducking Benavidez because of the punch output. And that's the problem, man. Benavidez applies that pressure in a way that is hard. Benavidez, I think, is gonna, if he loses, is gonna be like someone like a very hard puncher. It could be like Yard. That's why I say Yard has a chance. Someone who has a style like Mike Tyson. Somebody who's very, very aggressive. That's gonna match his energy. You know who I think has a chance of beating David Benavidez? But I'm saying he has a chance, but I don't know yet. You know, the eye test tells me that he has a chance. Jai Opataya. The eye test tells me he got a chance. Superman, it's been 2 years. Oh, I thought, you see, years of blaming the accident. You got it, Superman, years. And his own coach is like, nah, that shit ain't had nothing to do with nothing. Get them excuses the hell out of here. Get them excuses the hell out of here. The same way John Parham get the veggie salad out of here. That's all I'm going to say to y'all. JJ said that Jay Smith, I'm here. Let's go. Hit the like button, everyone, as you enter. Superman, he got pummeled, bro. That was a pummeling session. It was a pummeling session. Errol Spence got invited. They didn't tell him he was going to be the pummelee. Targaryen, Bivol ain't duck shit. Okay. He vacated the title. Ran from Benavidez. I know that much. Marie De Bruyne. What will happen with Beterbiev now? He got a fight coming up. He got a very, very tough opponent. And I don't think it's fair because, like I said earlier, he's 40 years old. He earned the right to fight that third fight. He won the first one. And you're going to make him fight somebody else? That's crazy work. No matter what anybody tell me, they doing him dirty. Dirty. That's what they doing him. Look at it right there, my peoples. That's the promo from Ring Magazine. They talking about he's starting the road back to redemption. You got this dude climbing a road to redemption at 40 years old. What is wrong with y'all, bro? What are we doing? JJ Zendejas, are you starting earlier? Nah, bro. I started late today, if anything. Raw Dog, Jai 2 Green. We seen a lot of Australians come to the big league and get eaten alive. Nah, man, I think Jai a special fighter, bro. We also seen some Australians show out. Targaryen, good morning, by the way. Good morning. Bam. Marui De Bruyne with whoop. John Parham, he ducked something. Superman. It's the business of boxing. Nasty work. That's what they do sometimes. Superman, that's bad business. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. They doing Artur Beterbiev dirty. No matter what anybody tell me. You're going to make this guy fight a power puncher with 18 knockouts and 22 wins. He loses, that's it. The trilogy opportunity's over for him. Go get the money. You truly believe Artur Beterbiev won the first fight? Yeah, I felt he won it. I felt he edged it out. Close, but I felt he won. Marie De Bruyne. Marie, I knew they would do him dirty Beterbiev told himself Bivol wouldn't give him the rematch. And he was right. But with who will Beterbiev fight? Yo, the guy, look, let me show you. That's the picture that I was showing. This is the promotion for Beterbiev's fight in November 15th. And the guy that he's going to fight, Dion Nicholson, I don't know him, but he got 22 wins and 18 knockouts, so obviously he's a hard puncher. And think about this. We're in August. That fight is way in November. That's at the end of the year, my peoples. That fight is, Artur Beterbiev is going to fight at the end of the year. So that means that Dimitri Bivol could have fought David Benavidez next and then went and fought Beterbiev next year. That's it. Beterbiev is fighting in November. So obviously, his next fight after that is going to be next year. I'm not going to fight in December, a month later, right? Dimitri Bivol could have fought Benavidez, and if he won, it would have still been for undisputed versus Beterbiev. Come on now. 310, Man Ruth. Salute. Bam. John Parham, I had it a draw. Fair enough. It was a close fight. Fights like that, there's so many swing rounds. You could always say that could have gone either way. Could have gone either way. Marble CC, personally, I didn't think Benavidez deserved a shot at undisputed yet. It's not about a shot at undisputed. He's a mandatory. He's mandatory. So it's either you give him a shot or you vacate a title, and you're not going to be mandatory. So when you say he don't deserve a shot for undisputed, you're also saying Benavidez is not going to stay undisputed because he's going to have to vacate. Superman, he tired after that. Beterbiev work. I mean, that was a grueling fight. Grueling. But still, if it's a grueling fight like we're saying, why are you going to choose that trilogy versus fighting David Benavidez? You already know what that was about. You did it twice with him. The third one is going to be the same deal. Same type of fight. Junior G, hello from Sacramento, California. Salute, family. Bam. Look, man, all I'm saying is that it has already been established Dimitri Bivol officially ducked David Benavidez. Duck that smoke. What are the odds? Think about it. If he didn't fight Benavidez as a mandatory, what are the odds that he's still going to fight him when Benavidez become a champion and he don't got to fight him no more? He won't have to fight him. That's it. If you're a champion in that division and I'm a champion in this division, I never have to fight you. Ever. It will never be mandatory, none of that. So that's it. We might not even get that fight. But that was his mandatory challenger. That could have been the biggest payday of his career, the biggest name of his career, the biggest Hall of Famer of his career. That would have been the biggest win of his career, period. Period. And there you have it. Targaryen. Imagine if you use that every time somebody ducked. Oh, he just wasn't interested in that fight. Imagine you could literally use that for every fight. Where a fighter ducked. Oh no, he wasn't interested either. Another guy ducked. Oh no, he was. That's gonna be the new phrase that we could use every time a fighter ducked. He just wasn't interested. He wasn't interested in the biggest payday of his career or the biggest name of his resume or the short Hall of Fame. No, he wasn't interested in all the things that come with that fight. Of course not. Golly. Well, Targaryen, I don't know how you got into a fighter's head. If you're a sidekick, maybe. But a little 30-minute timeout so you could think and explain to me when you get back how you got in his head and determine what he's interested in and what he's not interested in. Because I don't know what somebody else is interested in. I don't know what some of my own family members are interested in. And you know what somebody that you've seen on TV is interested in? Yo, watch the show for 30 minutes, and then when you get back, let us know how you know what somebody interested in. I want to know, too, how you figure that out. Superman is business. And Tank, Still ain't fighting Roach. Listen, Tank versus Roach is kind of in the air right now. Kind of in the air. We don't know if that fight is gonna happen. I don't know, bro. I just don't know. I just don't know. Is it gonna happen? Um, Hard to say, my peoples. I think that that fight may not happen. Tank Davis himself posted that he's not retiring, that he's either gonna fight Manny Pacquiao or move up to the 140 division. Posted that himself. So it's not looking like he's gonna fight Lamont Roach. But the only thing that I'll say, they have not officially canceled that fight. So I still have a glimmer of hope. Oh, well, they haven't canceled it. It could happen. You never know. But even Tank Davis ain't talking about Lamont Roach at this point. Even Tank Davis ain't talking about Lamont Roach. Superman, we can do that for everyone who ducky, didn't take a fight. My man said, nah, he just wasn't interested. Oh, we got psychics up in here. Nah, damn. Tell me the lotto numbers. When you done with your 30-minute break, come back and tell me the lotto numbers too. So I could become a millionaire right quick. Marvel, what do you think about Yard versus David? It's going to be a very good fight. I think Yard is going to be competitive. But I say that the gap in skills is going to show. Benavidez is the better fighter, and it's going to show. I did point out that Yard has a puncher's chance. Anything could happen in boxing, but nah, I see Benavidez smoking. Good fight, smoking. JJ Sandha, he's a side chick, not a sidekick. Superman. So is it a ducky? You damn Skippy. You damn Skippy. Tank Davis about to duck Lamont Roach. Yup. You got it. I'm going to put it to you like this. When I think about what Tank Davis has been doing, there's a song that comes to my mind. I bet you guys can't guess the song that comes to my mind for Tank Davis. I'm going to show you. Try to guess in the comments. What song comes to mind? Not even guess, matter of fact, you tell me, guys. When you think about Tank Davis, what song comes to mind? Is there a song that you think about? Yeah, that song made me think about Tank Davis. Last warning. Bam. Superman. And stiffen that leg. More. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second real quick. There you have it, my peoples. Tank Davis, Dmitry Bivol. It's a DuckTales. DuckTales, my people. Y'all know it's for real. Y'all know it's for real. The moment that Artur Beterbiev was announced that he's fighting somebody else, we found out Dmitry Bivol ducking. There will be no trilogy. And then Tank Davis with Shakur Stevenson, with all these guys. Now it looks like with Lamar Roach, we're going to have to play that song for him. John Parham, Superman. Grab onto your DuckTales. John Parham, crazy work. He went back to 90s cartoons. Had to do it on him. Had to do it. And by the way, those who was there, y'all know that 90s cartoons, that's what it was at. That was like the peak, the prime of cartoon penmanship. Then after that, it just got too crazy. JJ's in their house. What the Now I can see Tank dance to this. Yo, I'm telling you. Matter of fact, that's a good idea. That's a good idea to make a video. You know, Tank, them funny dance moves, Tank. Yo, Tank be on some. What's that all about? All them slapping the hips and shit. Tank be doing some funny stuff when he be dancing, bro. I'ma say that. But that's his, you know, he got his style, his flow. I'm not gonna knock him. But, you know, when you see him dancing like that, and then Floyd say he got sugar in his tank, it make you think, like, damn, is there some sugar up in there? I don't know. But we not gonna get into conspiracies. We not gonna get into conspiracies, my people. Let's get into these fights. That's what we need to get into. These fights. So there's already a narrative out there about Terrence Crawford and how he's gonna beat Canelo because of Victor Conte. Interesting. Superman, nah. I'm not with that Vogue. Yo, he be dancing funny. Dancing real funny. So there's that narrative about how Crawford is gonna win because of Victor Conte. And I think that's fairly easy to debunk. Not just because there isn't any evidence of any wrongdoing. You know, it's based on, oh, well, he did stuff in the past, so he's got to be doing it again. That's the whole logic, right? With Victor Conte. He used to do steroids. He must be doing it again. Something that I want you guys to think about. Because people don't understand how it works, I guess. When he was doing it the first time, you guys, me, we never heard of Victor Conte. We never heard of him, right? Most of us, unless you were already like deep into baseball or involved in the sport, that kind of thing, most of us found out about Victor Conte when the whole Barry Bonds situation broke out. Valco. Before that investigation, we never heard of him. The Hydro Grind. Good morning, my peoples. Bam, salute. So think about it. Victor Conte was doing steroids, the clear and the cream, that was very famous, but nobody knew him. In 2025, he's an ex-con who served federal time. To think that an ex-con served time in prison, got out, and went back to doing the same thing under the federal microscope and has been getting away with it, that is diabolical. That is another level of diabolical. You think people just do shit, come out and just do the same shit and now get away with doing the same shit? That's not how it works, my people. Just maybe, you can try to consider that maybe this guy used his expertise to do legitimate work. Just maybe. Because the other option that people want to consider, that he's a cheater and all this stuff, what you're saying, bro, is that under the federal microscope, we know who you are, we know what we arrested you for, but now you're doing it and we can't catch you now. That's crazy. In real life, that's not how things work. In real life, if he came out and was doing the same thing, he would have got busted quick, early. It wasn't even going to take a long time. So he's not doing the same thing. It is highly likely that this dude got a legitimate operation going on. Highly likely that this dude is doing what he's supposed to be doing. Come on. Come on, my people. Without a shred of evidence, we're gonna make up a whole narrative. Nah, you know, because if Crawford wins, it's gonna be because he's with this guy, and this guy's probably doing what we probably hope he's doing. Come on, man. Come on, my peoples. The hydro grind. Here's the thing, bro. I think we all know someone who went to jail, came out, and keep doing the same thing again, but smarter. Nah, bro, we don't all know. Everybody that I know who went to jail and came back to do the same thing, went back to jail. That's my word. Everybody I know who went to jail for doing shit and came doing the same shit, went back to jail. Because the difference is, my brother, when you doing it at first, you get away with shit because nobody's looking for you. But then when you get caught, you might get smarter, but guess what? We already got your face. We already got your fingerprints. We already got cops that, that's such and such. We already know you, bro. You don't come out and do the same thing and get away with it. That is not, nah, bro. I'm not suggesting that you don't know somebody. I'm not suggesting that. But I don't know nobody that, nah. Unless they came out recently and started doing the same and give them some time. They're going back. Shit like that. But you don't, bro. Now, if you're doing this crime and you get out and you do something that's completely unrelated, you might be able to get away with it for some time. So, come on, my people. Come on, my people. Yoda, some people are just conspiracy theories at heart. People love a conspiracy. There isn't a shred of evidence that this guy has done anything wrong since he got out of jail. And people just want to cling to, now he's got to be doing something wrong. There is no way that it could be legal. That's crazy. That's nasty work. Judging somebody by their past and saying they're definitely doing what they were doing before, that's nasty work. The hydro grind, I will say that the transparency Conti is working with does clear him. Come on. This guy, since he got out, there hasn't been anything about him that suggests he's doing something wrong. Anything. Not only that, it's like I told you, my peoples, when somebody gets out of jail after serving fat time, that's it. They're in the system. You're gonna do shit under their eye and they're not gonna catch you. If he was doing that, he would have been caught again. Would have been in jail. H3, what's up, brother? Bam, salute. So no, Victor Conti isn't doing anything illegal. People want to believe that he is because they just cannot give Crawford his credit. This is going to give him a new avenue. Now, when Crawford beat that ass, that's going to be the avenue. Oh my God, imagine if Crawford stopped him. If Crawford stops Canelo, 99% of Canelo fans are going to bring up Victor Conti and snack. 99%. That's going to be my over and under, 99%. It could be 100, it could be 99. But that's what people are going to cling on to. The hydro grind. He takes interviews and answers all questions with transparency. I like that. It's like I told you. Look, here's what I see in Victor Conte. He's a guy who was doing illegal stuff, but obviously he was very good. Served time in jail. Man, nobody want to go back to jail. If you nice, if you got a talent to do something, and you could do it without cheating, why not? He came out, used his skills to create great supplements, put his company together, build it up, and has never been in trouble. Never, not once. So you're going to say that this guy is doing illegal steroids, supplying it to fighters and to other athletes, and he's just that good that he ain't been caught. Even though the feds already caught him before and he served time. Now he's doing it right under their eyes. That's not even realistic, my people. In all honesty, saying that Victor Conte is cheating or doing something illegal is not even realistic. Because that would be suggesting that he's doing it under everybody's nose. Doesn't even make sense. Kano Crush. Good morning, Jay Smith. Bam, salute. Go get the money. How they putting out the PEDs, Bs on Bud, but haven't said a word about Canelo Juicy. That, I find that to be disturbing. Like, you're putting PEDs on Crawford based on conspiracies, but Canelo got popped. Bro, Canelo popped dirty. Y'all forgot he was suspended? He served the suspension. So it's crazy to make up a conspiracy just to try to not give Crawford his credit when Canelo Alvarez is the guy who popped dirty out of them two. So there you have it, man. That's when you see the bias. That's when you see that oftentimes fans are not really looking at what's fair or what's real or what's true. It's more about, let me find a way to blame this guy. Let me find a way to not give credit to that guy. Let me find a way to say that this guy's ducking, but that one is not ducking in the same situation. Come on. The usual bias arguments. Superman. It's not illegal. It's legal because it's under the ban level. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Superman. That is under the ban level. I don't know what you're referring to. John Parham, crazy work. Superman, true. I don't know what y'all talking about. Under the ban level. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The veggie salad created... Yo, the veggie salad created another fake account. And his little comment was blocked out. Oh, veggie salad. Veggie salad. You be alright, veggie. The hydro grind. What substance is under the ban level? That's what I'm saying. I didn't understand what that means. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that comment may be off of what a fighter or what somebody said. Like, yeah, you know, he uses stuff, but he make it under the ban level. Yeah, nah, that's some bullshit ass assumption. Bullshit ass assumption. JJ said, get the fuck out of here. The veggie salad was enjoying the show and wanted to chime in. No veggie salad. No veggie salad. It doesn't work. I understand what he's saying. Superman, the supplemental supply is in his hands, but under the illegal levels. Okay, so Superman, let me ask you a question. Where do you get that it's enhanced, but under the illegal levels? Where do you get that from? Where does that come from? Go get the money. Jermel Charlo mentions this. Exactly. How the hell Jermel Charlo know this? When he mentions this, he's actually mentioning it as an assumption. I saw somebody else who did the same. Who they said, nah, because they doing this. But when you really probe them, how do you know? Nah, because that's shit that they be doing. Charlo didn't say, yo, I know that they doing this. He more said, they be doing stuff like that. But he didn't really say that he has knowledge that that's happening. That's like me telling you, yeah, them people over there, they be doing shit. Because that's what I heard. So in reality, when we say that they're doing stuff and putting it under the levels, that's not true, my brother. That's simply something that somebody said. That's simply something that a fighter said who isn't a snack fighter. He ain't a snack fighter. He not with snack. How would he know that? So, you know, people gonna say what they're gonna say, but nothing about that was factual information. That's just what he thought, what he felt. Especially after Canelo whooped his ass. Go get the money. But I slight believe Charlo though. I don't understand why would you believe him. He's not with Snack. He's not a Snack fighter. He never been down with, like, how does he know? Superman. Supplements help in general. So what I'm saying is the reason it's not illegal is because it's not on the ban level. Is that you're talking about the ban. Look, the ban level and supplements is two different conversations, because the ban level is saying that you have something that if it reaches a level, it's going to be illegal, and if it's below it, it's legal. There's nothing that's been proven to say that that is true, my brother. There's a bunch of supplements that do not have a ban level. So let's not mix supplements with ban levels, because ban levels, supplements, the ban levels is not of the supplements. The ban levels is of a specific ingredient. That ingredient, it cannot go to certain levels or it cannot be included. But again, me and you, we don't know what's in the supplements. We don't actually know that anything there could be on a banned list, that it could reach a level. That's some shit that Charlo just said. And then we can put it together however we want to put it. JJ's in the house. Silent Little Puto is making another account right now. Get the fuck out of here again. He's been kicked out I don't know how many times this morning alone. Superman. What are the supplements for? Mary J is illegal. Mary J is illegal, but it's not considered a PED. Why? Because it doesn't enhance performance. If anything, it could hinder your performance. A fighter should not be suspended for, and they have been in the past, but a fighter should not be suspended for marijuana because that doesn't enhance performance. Marijuana is not going to make you faster. It's not going to make you stronger. It's not going to do anything to make you a better fighter. If anything, it can help you lose. It can help you get your ass kicked. Superman. But it's not a supplement. You can still pop for it. Bro, you don't want to take this L. Supplement and ban is two different things. There's a bunch of supplements that are legal that they could take them. It has absolutely nothing to do with no ban, nothing. And you're holding on to what Jamal Charlo said. They be having stuff and they keep it under the levels. You don't know what's in it. I don't know what's in it. And Charlo don't know what's in it. What argument is there to make? Go get the money. Now, we got to stir up the fact Canelo popped dirty. It's crazy how so many YouTube creators, black YouTube creators, are even throwing the BS out there. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't like the fact that there's so many people within the African... Look, and I'm going to even say it. Watch this. I'm going to get my receipt for this one. Because I'm going to get a receipt. And really think about what I'm about to say. Because as fans, oftentimes, we root for the fighters who are from our same country or of our same race. That's common, and that's normal. You know, it's normal that if this fighter's from your city or this fighter's from your country and he's fighting somebody from another country, that you root for him. It's normal, right? Why so many African-American fans are rooting against Crawford in this Canelo fight? Think about the Mexican fans who are rooting for Canelo and the African-American fans who are rooting against Crawford. That's crazy. I understand the Mexican fans riding with their guy. Oh, yeah, he's going to beat him up. He's going to pummel him. He's going to do all this. But I don't understand why, in this case, in this fight, just because Terrence Buck Crawford pummeled Errol Spence, he got a whole African American community that's going against him. I didn't say, note, I didn't say the whole African American community. Of course not. But there's a whole segment, the Tankamaniacs, the PB, the Al Haymanites, they're all rooting against Crawford. Make that shit make sense to me. They all rooting for Canelo. They all feeding the narrative that he's too big and he's too strong and Crawford ain't fight nobody. Those are the... How is it that it's the same African American community that's floating out the rumors of Crawford being with Snack, of Crawford doing steroids, of... What is going on? So you got the Mexicans backing Canelo and a portion of the African American community also backing Canelo. So my whole point is that for this fight, Canelo has a lot more support than Terence Crawford from fans. A lot. But what happens when he put the beats on Canelo? Guess what? When he put the beats, y'all gonna start that same narrative about how he on Snack, he's with Victor Conte, they cheated. And it's like I said before, my peoples, Victor Conte got out of jail. He's never been in trouble. He's never been arrested. When you suggest that this guy's participating in illegal activities just because you hate Crawford and you cannot give him credit, I want to remind you that Victor Conte is a guy who was making illegal steroids and went to federal prison and got out, started his business, and has never been in trouble afterwards. You're literally suggesting that a guy who just got out of jail went back to doing the exact same thing and has been doing it under the federal microscope and has gotten away with it. And is doing it under everybody's nose and getting away with it. You know how wicked that is? How delusional that is? But you hate Terence Crawford so much that you'd rather make up this whole conspiracy out of thin air that he's doing illegal stuff. Meanwhile, it's a guy who went to jail, came out, built his own company, built himself up, and is doing his thing. Come on, my peoples. Sheev, here you go again. Hi to the host. Sheev, salute. Bam, appreciate you dropping in. I was just talking all types of shit over there. My bad. But again, my peoples, you have to take into consideration that Victor Conte's a guy who's never been in trouble after he got out of jail. You think people don't change? You think somebody's going to get out of federal custody and go right back to doing the same thing and not get busted almost right away? He would have been got arrested. He would have been in jail already if he was involved in steroids now. One thing is getting away with stuff where nobody knows who you are. We didn't know Victor Conte until the whole Barry Bonds situation, the whole Balco shit hit the fan. That's when we found out, when the clear and the cream and all that stuff. We had never heard of Victor Conte. But after his name was put out there and he got arrested, that's it. The cat is out of the bag. We know who he is. Now he's an ex-con. And you think under the federal microscope, he's just selling steroids left and right to athletes and nobody knows. Come on, my people. You got to stop doing that. I know you might want to hate on Terence Crawford, but you got to stop, putting together these crazy conspiracies out of thin air because he did it in the past. He must be doing it again. Huh? That's the logic? Think about the worst shit that you yourself did in the past, that you wouldn't do it again. We all done shit in the past that we wouldn't do again. Imagine somebody judging you for the rest of your life saying that you're going to do that shit again. Or that you're doing it again on the low. Come on, my people. Frontline. Nah, Smith, he learned how to beat the system. Listen, you don't beat the federal system. You should have known that by now. You should have known that by now, Frontline. That's your hate for Terrence Crawford that makes you come up with that. Think about it. You're making it out of thin air. How do you know that he's doing something illegal? You just decided that he is. He just is. Come on, bro. Come on. John Parham. Juan, honestly, I wasn't even thinking about your name being Juan. I was just trying to think of a Mexican name. My bad. Go get the money. John P., you crazy. Juan Ocasio, nah. I know what I was trying to say, Parham. Go get the money. How the hell everyone, if someone can't pop dirty, doesn't be under the microscope? You see? You see what I'm saying? How are we spinning this narrative on Terrence Crawford and saying that he's on snack and he's on steroids, but Canelo's the guy who popped dirty. Canelo's the guy who got suspended. He served a suspension for popping dirty. And we're going to spin this narrative on Terrence Buck Crawford, who never popped dirty, who's never been involved in any type of controversy. I don't understand it. The hate is crazy. I knew that pummeling Errol Spence, the way that he did, was going to get some type of hate reaction. But I didn't know we was going to be dealing with the hate 2 years down the line. Now you fighting Canelo, a Mexican fighter, and they still hating on you for pummeling Errol that way? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, my people. There's no need for that. At this point in the game, Terrence Buck Crawford should not have to prove to us that he's a great fighter. It's a damn shame that it seems that way. One of the most accomplished fighters in boxing history, my peoples, right now already. I want you to take that into consideration. At this very moment, Terrence Buck Crawford is one of the most accomplished fighters in boxing history. Yet here we are, still trying to act like he an average Joe. Still getting people talking about who he beat. He ain't beat nobody. He ain't done nothing. You don't know shit about boxing when you say that. You don't know shit about the sweet science. Al the Maker. Good morning, Jay Smith. What are you going to say when Canelo KO Bud? You're going to be disappointed, man. You're going to be real disappointed. That's the thing. People who think like you, that's all you say. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's stronger. He's bigger. Yeah, I just keep forgetting that Canelo got made to look easy by two different fighters. Got outboxed. And neither fighter had power. Neither fighter had a knockout power like that. A high knockout percentage. They just outboxed him and made him look easy. You got amnesia. You forgot about that. Crawford is going to remind you what that looks like. Be ready. Steve, the more haters, the more the boxer known. That's facts. That's facts. If you think about it, Steve, when Crawford had not fought Errol Spence, he didn't have that many haters. He only had that group of haters, that clique, the Al Haymanites. But after Crawford put the beats, the Dre, the Swiss, and the Apple beats on Errol Spence, the hate has been crazy. It's another level of hate that we dealing with. Go get the money. 6 to 7 fighters done popped. And y'all rooting for Canelo is crazy. Canelo won the best fights off the juice. And here's what I don't understand, go get the money. Canelo pops dirty, and that topic of conversation is pretty much swept under the rug because nobody talk about that anymore. If you think about it, ain't nobody talk about that. Oh, that's the past. So why would we not talk about the guy who popped dirty, but bash the guy who's been clean his whole life, who's never been caught up in anything? Junior C, super problem, Bud Crawford. You're going to give Canelo the super problems. Juan Ocasio, I like Bud and Canelo. Been watching them for a long time. I can't root for neither. Junior C, tell him. We just telling them the facts. We know who popped dirty. That's why when somebody bring up Victor Conti, nah, he with Victor Conti, he with Victor Conti. I'm like, yeah, but Canelo's the one that popped dirty. Tell me something about that. Because when a fighter popped dirty, you know it's always, oh, nah, this was the first time. Ain't never did it before. Well, he popped dirty that time. We don't know how many times he got away with it then. If we want to come up with conspiracies, if you want to come up with a conspiracy about Crawford, well, he probably doing something. Well, guess what? I don't know how many times Canelo did steroids to win fights. Did he do it against Triple G and not get popped? I don't know. How many champions he beat and didn't get popped? So you don't want to... Listen, if you're rooting for Canelo, the last thing you want to get into is conspiracies. Because Canelo's the guy that you could really point at and make up some good conspiracies with him. So, as of right now, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, I'm willing to say right now, for their next fight, I'm not talking about the past, because I know Canelo popped dirty. But right now, for September 13th, I expect both fighters to be clean. Crawford has always been clean. Matter of fact, Vada paid them a visit already, or maybe multiple, I'm not sure. And I don't think Canelo's going to mess around and get caught slipping. He's the naturally bigger guy and all that stuff, so they, you know, it's like, yeah, I got this. I'm stronger than him. So again, let's see how this fight is gonna play out. I got Terence Crawford winning it by unanimous decision. Go get the money. When we gonna get the VADA testing for Canelo? I don't know, bro. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe they already did. I don't know. I'm not following up on that. I only know that VADA went to pay Crawford a visit because he posted about it. I think he posted a video of the doctors when they showed up to do the testing and all that. Junior C, gonna give him the Matrix baits. Trying to tell you, Dre, Swiss, and Apple. Gonna turn into Neo out there. Go get the money. When we gonna see Vada testing for Canelo? JJ's in the house. John, if you want to use a Mexican name, that's almost guaranteed use. Jose. Wait a minute. Juan. And Alex, too. Superman, facts, machine. My peoples, I'm about to finish this live. I gotta go to work now. You know, my 9 to 5. I gotta do my 9 to 5. I gotta make this money until boxing start cutting me a check. I gotta go make this money, my peoples. So the first thing, as always, before I get out of here, I want to say salute to everybody who tuned in. I always appreciate you. Yo, chat. You guys make this show what it is. You guys. That's why when people go up in here and they don't know shit about boxing, we got John Parham to get them the fuck out of here. Get out of here with your goofy shit. If you don't know shit about boxing or you a veggie salad, you out of here. Simple as that. My peoples, y'all know it, man. Salute to John C., JJ Zendejas, Superman, John Parham, go get the money, was in the building, representing. Juan Ocasio was also representing. Frontline, Sheev, Al the Maker. My peoples, I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Y'all know how we do it. I'm posting a lot of videos. Check out those shorts. Check out those videos. And I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, man. Boxing for breakfast. We're going to do what we do. We're going to talk about the sweet science. But y'all know what it is. Before I get out of here, I'll leave you with some last words. I'll leave you with some jewels, which you can take into consideration for your personal life, or you can ignore it. It's up to you. It's all up to you, my peoples. So what is the J. Stradamus message of the day? My peoples, stop saying yes to everything and everyone who's asking you for shit. Stop it. Start saying no. You may ask, why? Why are you saying this, Jay? Simple. When you always say yes, when you always say yes, you're going to end up saying yes to the wrong shit. So, to give you an example, somebody tells you, yo, give me a ride. Because they don't want to walk or they don't want to, whatever. You give them a ride, you turn around in the corner, boom, somebody crashed your car. But guess what? That person, he's not going to help you fix your car. So now you was trying to give somebody a ride, and now your car is messed up in the game because you was trying to do a favor. So raw dog, I'm going into what you said. Be very selective as to who you say yes to, who you do favors for, who you go out of your way to help out. Because I promise you, my people, most of the people that you know will not go out of their way to help you. Most people will not go out of their way to give you a hand. Even if you go out of your way to give them a hand. They're not going to do that for you. Being a good person doesn't mean that people are going to take you into consideration. They will still shit on you. Most people, I'm trying to keep it 100 with y'all. Most people, if they could get a benefit from it, they will shit on you, my peoples. So again, be very selective. Don't do for everybody and say yes to everybody, because eventually it's going to be somebody that you did for who's going to shit on you. Remember that Jay Smith told you that. My peoples, you already know what it is. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Yo, I see y'all tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to talk boxing like we do, my peoples. I'm out of here. Peace. Bam. Salute.